Welcome to episode 5 of Records with Ken, and we're going to be talking about the vinyl flat, whether it's worth it or not. So, well, the short answer for me is yes, but I'm going to tell you why it's worth it. So here's the vinyl flat, right? It's beautiful, looks like a record, and I've been using it for a couple months now, and I've used it over 15 records by now. It's worked. It's helped me with any warped records, but my warped definition may be different from other people's. Some people want to fix records that are, unplayable. For those records, I really just return them because it does happen, but it's very rare for that to happen, especially for new records, for me at least. But I know that some records that have been sealed for a very long time, the pressure from the sealed can warp the records over time. But the old records that I purchase usually are already open, and I save money that way anyways. And if they're well taken care of, they're usually fine, and I don't need to put it in this vinyl flat. So that's good. But if I get new records from a local store, or it's like a pre-order and then it finally comes, you open it up, you put it on the turntable, and you see it spinning, and it's like this. First you're like, fuck, right? You waited like a few months for it or whatever, and you're like, do I let the store know? They probably don't have it anymore, or they don't have extras, so what the hell do I do? And then you check the audio, you put the needle on the grooves, and then you listen to it. The audio's fine. So it's really a warpage that you kind of have to deal with if you're a vinyl collector. If you want to fix that and you don't want this roller coaster effect while you're playing the record, this thing. It may not flatten it 100%, but it will flatten it to at least my standards of, okay, well, that's pretty good. That's good enough for me. So that's one reason why I think it's worth getting. You have OCD and you just don't like your needle going up and down. Plus, I don't think it's good for the needle, not just the needle itself, but also the record. I have a few clips that I want to show you guys that I fixed so far, and kind of before and the after, so that you could be the judge to see whether you want it or not. So I got the groovy pouch and the vinyl flat as a gift from my girlfriend, and I'm very thankful for that. But if I didn't get it as a gift, I would have definitely got it already, because I know it bothers me so much when I receive warp vinyl. I fixed my Angels in the Airwaves, the Dreamwalker, in green because it had like this cone-shaped warp, and I used this mat and it helped. And then for 45s they do have this as well, so for cone-shaped 45s. But you can always use the 12-inch mats, and for the 10-inch you can also use the 12-inch mat. So the vinyl flat goes for $140, and then on the same website, the same company offers this groovy pouch. Ooh, it's dirty. Built-in switch. It's just an on and off, very simple. The groovy pouch is $80. You leave it in there for, well, the instructions say 1 hour for a 12-inch standard black vinyl, 140 grams to 100, maybe 80. So that, to me, didn't really work. The 1 hour didn't really work for me. So having it in for 2 hours and 30 minutes after multiple tries of records, I felt like 2 hours and 30 minutes for me was a great timing. And then I turn it off, let it cool for like an hour or two, and then open it up, and I saw a very big difference when it comes to the warping. So it would be in total of $220. And it is a lot of money, but audio equipment's always going to be expensive, no matter what you purchase. Like cables and things like that are ridiculous. Just overall, it's going to be expensive no matter what you do, especially with this fragile stuff. In the long run, for me, I have almost 300 records, and most of the time, they're never flat. If you just started collecting records, you just have to put in your head that records are not going to be flat most of the time. If you do find a record that's flat, you probably are very lucky, because most of the time the records that I get have a slight warp, and it doesn't affect the audio, which is great, because then it's like, okay, I don't have to return it, and I think the shop will appreciate that as well. So the only thing is, it's kind of a mind thing where, are you okay looking at the record kind of being warped and the needle going up and down? If that's okay, then it's not worth getting the vinyl flat. So you have to be pretty careful with the vinyl flat, because I've seen people and videos that they've kept it in for too long and it just completely flattened the grooves, and it's unplayable. You can learn from other people, right? So it's just good. And for me, I usually just put it in for, well, the first run usually is like 2 hours and 30 minutes if it's a black standard. And then if it's a colored or like a clear vinyl, I do it for a little less, because I believe it doesn't have carbon in it, so it's less durable. Meaning I would assume that it uses less time to cook and flatten. So that's just my, guess. It's worked so far. So yeah, 2 hours for the colored clear, and then for the standard black, I put it in an extra 30 minutes. I check on it, put it on turntable. Usually gonna have a big difference, which is great. I hope this video helped you guys, and make sure to click that subscribe button and like this video. And if you'd like, you can follow my Instagram, Records with Ken, where I post pretty frequently of my record collection. I have almost 300 records, and I think I posted around 160 so far. If you guys are already following the page, thank you very much. If you're interested in my vinyl collection, you should definitely check out my Instagram, Records with Ken. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.